Hey everybody, this is Derek, and welcome to Ludia Presents, where we show you the latest innovations related to Dynamics 365, the Power Platform, and artificial intelligence. Microsoft is always looking for ways to make things quicker, more efficient, and easier for end users and dispatchers. And one way that they are able to do that is through the new Dynamics 365 Field Service app for Outlook. This provides not only the ability to access and view work orders directly from the context of Outlook, but it also provides Copilot capabilities that will dramatically reduce the amount of time that it takes for people to enter or create work orders based upon incoming information such as emails. So let's go ahead and get started with the Dynamics 365 Field Service app for Outlook. Now that's going to get installed just like you're going to install any other application or add-in. You're going to go up to the Let's Get Add-ins option, and it's going to take you to the add-in store. And so in this case, you're going to go ahead and just do a quick search for Dynamics 365 Field Service, and you'll see that it'll take you right to the Field Service application. You'll go ahead and click on Add, and that'll add the app into your environment. Once the app is in your Outlook, it'll automatically be pinned to each of your emails just to make it easier to access. At any point in time, if you ever need to remove the app, you can come up and click on the Remove option, but at this point in time, I'll have the app added into my environment and ready for me to go ahead and use. So as emails come in, you'll be able to access the Field Service app for Outlook directly from within any message. The first time that you access the application, you will have to pick the environment that you want to go ahead and use. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and sign into Dynamics 365, and I'm going to pick the tenant that we have the information installed in, and I'll go ahead and just hit Get Started. This will take a few seconds just to get everything set up and facilitated, but now I'm ready to go ahead and use the app. Now there's two key areas to the app. There's the Copilot feature, which is going to help us go ahead and actually create work orders based upon the individual emails that are coming in. And then there's the work orders area of the application. This is where I can go in and I can view individual work orders directly from within the context of Outlook. This is extremely handy in situations where I'm looking for specific details. I want to be able to identify whether or not work orders have been scheduled, and I just overall have the ability to identify different areas and elements. You can see you have everything here that would be very important for you to be able to view when you're working with work orders. I can see the status, I can see individual scenarios such as the priority, the service count associated with them, and if I need to make inline changes directly from within here, I do have that ability to go ahead and facilitate that. I also have the ability to make individual changes such as things like changes to the service address or items as needed. But probably the biggest feature of this Field Service mobile application is the integration of Copilot. Copilot's going to give us the capabilities to scan these incoming emails and create work orders directly from the information that has been supplied. So for example, I can see that I received an email from a customer who really just needs to have something fixed. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and just click on Create a Work Order from the email, and this is going to view and scan all the specific and relevant information inside that email, and it's going to make a suggestion as to information that we can define based upon those individual scenarios. It can see based upon the items that I've selected, it automatically defines a priority. It actually goes into Dynamics and it looks at individual information such as the service account that this contact who sent this email is associated with. It identifies an incident type based upon specific areas that I facilitate, and then it actually even facilitates a description based upon those individual scenarios. Now what's nice about this is you also have the capabilities to identify whether or not this information was relevant based upon what you had selected. So for example, if I wanted to come in here and I saw that maybe it did not identify a work order type or was not able to identify a work order type based upon the information that was provided in that email, I can individually select those items associated with that. It also did not suggest a price list based upon this information. Now, a part of this is going to be a little bit based upon how you have your system configured. So for example, if I had gone in and for this particular customer, A Datum Corporation, if I had a default price list associated with that, it would know, since that's the customer that it's suggesting, it would know to go ahead and identify and set up the specific price list that that you wanted to facilitate into those individual areas. Now, the other thing that I've noticed with this is it doesn't always pick up the times very well. So you will probably still have to come in initially and identify the specific times that you want to facilitate if you have a scenario where a customer is looking at scheduling windows. There are scenarios where you may have to go in and facilitate time. But for the most part, the more information you have defined and configured within your field service application, the easier it's going to be for the system to be able to identify that and feed that information in. And once it's gone through and made the recommendations, now I have the ability to go ahead and just click save, and it will create the work order automatically from the information that was provided within the email. This is something I'm extremely excited about. It's going to save people a tremendous amount of time with being able to identify just from email information the service account, the priority, the types of incidents, and the price list based upon configurations that you have within your organization. It is going to save you so much time when you try to enter information in. Think about the time that dispatchers will be able to save as they're working through. Think about now providing individual technicians potentially the ability to go ahead and create work orders based upon emails that are coming in. It's really going to change how we create work orders inside the application. Now, just like anything, this is a newer feature. So there are things that I have noticed that you do need to be aware of. And probably one of the biggest things that I've noticed is the emails that are coming in. Let's look at another example. So over here, when I pull up the field service add-in, one of the things that it's going to do when I go ahead and say to create my work order from an email is it does struggle a little bit when you start having like an email chain of information coming back. This one actually did a pretty good job where it was able to identify specific things. Still miss things like the work order type and the price list, but if you have like a lot of information inside an email, or it's an email chain that's gone through and maybe there's been multiple topics, it does sometimes struggle to provide suggestions, and you might even get a message that says, I'm unable to provide a suggestion at this point in time. But if it's something fairly specific, like in this case where it's a little bit of information back and forth, you'll notice that it almost selected the exact same thing other than the fact that it had adjusted the priority, and that was just because of some key information that I identified as I put that information into the email. It looked at some items and it created more of a sense of urgency. Well, I hope you enjoyed our look at the Dynamics 365 Field Service app for Outlook. Stay tuned in the future as we examine more exciting features as it relates to Dynamics 365, the Power Platform, and artificial intelligence. So for all of us here at Ludia, this is Derik saying thank you very much, everybody, for watching. Take care and have a good one.